Hi there, it's Kristen Cooper, your mortgage advisor here. Just wanted to go over some important information that's just come out as to what's going on with inflation. Now, we've been talking about how come May 10th is going to be a big number for inflation, and that's because it's a year-over-year reading, which means that each month a number will drop off from the previous and a new number will be included in the year calculation average. And so with where it was with the one that was rolling off and the new numbers and the way that it was being calculated, this CPI number coming Wednesday was supposed to be much better. Now, there's a couple things that we need to go over because they've adjusted the way that the CPI number is being calculated. So what does that mean? I kind of put it here. You can see the revisions that are taking over. And so you can see here the BLS Labor Statistics Bureau is revised their numbers lower in these calculations, plus the oil spike in April is being revised, meaning that there was a higher cost in oil that wasn't calculated for previously. And so now they're going to just throw that into the numbers for April. All of these have a pretty big impact to the new number for inflation that's going to be rolling into the number. And so it impacts where inflation is going to roll out. So most likely on Wednesday, when inflation comes out, we may see that number come out higher. And that's not because inflation is necessarily higher. It's because the way that they're calculating inflation is changing, which they've done on the employment number as well. But what it will do is, although May is when we started to say, okay, well, maybe rates are going to start to come down in May, it's probably going to be more like the end of the year that we start to see that take into account. And the reason why is the new way that they are rating the inflation number. By the end of the year, the way that they're calculating it, we'll start seeing a benefit. But the way that they're calculating it right now, we're not going to see that benefit as soon as we expected. So although interest rates are going to be coming down, it's expected now probably closer towards the end of the year that we're going to start seeing that inflation number as a true number show that you're seeing on your side. Inflation come down, even though it's come down a ton, and we're at a really great inflation number compared to where we were. So PPI is going to also be coming out on Thursday, which is another way that they look at inflation. That one will probably see a little bit better improvement, as well as some auctions. And so we might see some stability come back from that on Thursday and the end of the week. After the Wednesday inflation number comes out. So we're hoping at least rates will stay stable. We may see a small improvement still, but not as big of an improvement as we were hoping was going to happen with inflation. Now, also on a market update, we are starting to see that there is more appreciation in homes. So when we look at the numbers that have come out for home prices, believe it or not, even though rates have stayed consistent pretty close to where they are, and haven't come down as we anticipated, housing prices is still going up. Now, part of that is seasonally, as we always get in, come May, people are starting to gear up, list their home because maybe their kids are out of school, graduated, downsizing, moving. It's the normal, good weather. It's the normal season where things start to ramp up, but we're still very low inventory. So what does that mean? Well, keep in mind that when we have low inventory, it causes prices to be stable or increase. So although there's a lot of people that can afford to purchase with rates where they are, there's still a lot of people that can. So if you're thinking about purchasing or you're looking at purchasing, it's really important that you remember that there's all these different factors that come in play. Sometimes we just get focused on, well, we're waiting for rates to come down because we need it to be more affordable. But keep in mind, when rates come down, the prices are higher. So a lot of times it's not more affordable. It's really important that you're looking at all the numbers so that you can make an educated decision. For people that can afford to purchase in this market that are currently renting, it would be a good idea for you to really understand what's going in the market and be aggressive with trying to find a home that you can afford, because the direction that we're going with rates going lower and with the housing prices going up is not going to be a better direction as a buyer. But I'd love to go over different options. If you have specific questions, I would love to go over those options with you and make sure that you're properly informed, because it does make a difference, not just in your qualifying, but in your overall wealth, which is a huge part of being able to look at your finances and your wealth strategy, which buying a home is part of that. So again, Kristen Cooper, your mortgage advisor, and would love to chat with you if you have any questions.